Good morning, dear students. Welcome to the third part of the chapter 8 Natural Resources. Today we are going to cover next three topics, that is soil formation, soil and types of soil. So let us start with the first point, that is the soil formation. Generally, the part of surface of the earth wherein the vegetation grows is known as soil. So this is the definition, you can say, of the soil. How we will describe? Generally the part of the surface of the earth, the upper layer of the earth, which supports the vegetation and plantation, is known as the soil. The soil is a thin layer composed of various elements on the surface of the earth. Minerals, humidity, humus and air are mixed up in it. The parental rocks lies below the soil. So students, you can see here the minerals which are formed many years back, crores and crores minerals of millions of years back, humidity in the air, humus, all these things and air are mixed up in the soil, and the parental rocks which lie below the soil. Soil is formed due to the material available through the denudation. Denudation means slowly or gradually the rocks are formed into the small parts. Biotic remnants, humidity and air get mixed up with, in the other word, the soil is a natural mixture of mineral and biotic elements which have the capacity to grow and develop vegetation. Now let's start next topic, that is soil. The uppermost layer of the crust of the earth is called soil, which contains minerals and biotic elements necessary for the growth and development of vegetation. So students, we know very well that if we want to do any farming work, agriculture work or any plantation, we need the different micronutrients, minerals and biotic elements which supports the agriculture and farming, and we can do the vegetation and plantation easily. Although their proportion is not same everywhere. Why it is said the proportion is not same everywhere? Because there are different types of soils, and every soil has some micronutrients which it varies from places to place. The soil is the layer or the surface of the matter formed due to mixture of the scattered material of the parental rocks and vegetation. Factors of denudation prepares very thin layer through the denudation of the rocks. The humus formed due to the disintegration or decay of vegetation or insects is added to this. The humus means the things like if the dry leaves are falling on the earth surface, yes, or some things which are not of use and they are getting decomposed, they are getting decay, and they form what? Humus. Or it can be vegetation also, it can be insects also. The decaying of all these things form the humus which is added to the soil, and it also makes sometimes soils fertile also. These biotic elements play an important role in the development of vegetation. The climatic impact in the duration of soil formation is so important and widespread that the soil formed of different types of rock in that region over a long time is the same. So the soil formed out of same parental rocks under different climatic influence is different. So the soil is formed by the same parental rock everywhere, but because of the different climatic conditions, and because of that effects and influence of the climatic conditions, the soil is different at different place. Soils are classified on the basis of their color, climate, parental rock, structure, humus, etc. So soils are classified on the basis of what? Of their color. Like for example, at some place you will find the red color soil, some places you will find black color soil. Yes, so according to its structure, humus and parental rocks, the soils are classified. Our next topic is types of soil. Now recently Indian Council of Agricultural Research, in short we will say ICAR, has divided the soil into 8 types. This is the logo of ICAR, which supports the agriculture, development and research, and this authority has divided the soil into 8 parts. But many times different soils are also more than 8 types also are there, but these are the standard 8 types which are found everywhere in the India. You can also find the soils which are hybrid types also. 2 types of soils get mixed and form the third type. So, but authority has divided this soil in the standard 8 types. So let us study about these 8 types of soil next. First is alluvial soil, second red soil, third black soil, fourth laterite soil, fifth desert soil, sixth mountain soil, seventh forest soil, and eighth is marshy or wetty soil. Now we will discuss in detail about all these types of soil. So very first we will take the alluvial soil. Of this, the mountains soil and forest soils are found at different altitude in the mountainous region. First, alluvial soil. This type of soil is spread over about 43% of total area of India. So we can say that this soil covers the maximum part of the India, and you can see here in the map on the side you can see the symbols. First one is alluvial, which is a pink type of, and if we see in the map this pink color or regions which are covered with the pink color, this all region contains the alluvial soil. So 43%, which is the maximum part of the India of total area, is covered with the alluvial soil. And alluvial soil is considered to be the very fertile soil. Even from the primary standards also we have studied about it, that alluvial soil is considered to be the fertile soil. This soil is found in the northern plain of Brahmaputra Valley in the east, up to Satluj in the west, and in the delta region of Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri rivers. Yes, this type of soil is we get from the rivers, the origin of the rivers, and let's study in detail further. The formation of alluvial soil is due to alluvial deposition by the rivers. There is more proportion of potash, phosphoric acid and limestone in this soil, and there is less proportion of nitrogen and humus. So because this soil is formed because of the rivers, that's why there is a constant deposition. So nitrogen and humus, these two nutrients are found very less in this, and it is very much rich in potash, phosphoric acid and limestone. So students here, mainly when this type of questions are asked, yes, so you have to define the alluvial soil characteristic. You have to also add these points, which nutrients are found in it, and you also have to mention that in which region of the India it is found mostly. If the crops of pulses is grown in this soil, the nitrogen content can be stabilized. So if we want to stabilize the nitrogen and humus, this type of nutrients, if we want to stabilize in this soil, then if pulses or types of crops are grown in this soil, then nitrogen content, yes, can be stabilized in this soil. Crops like wheat, paddy, sugarcane, jute, cotton, maize, oil seeds, etc. can be grown in this soil. So friends, what we can because it is having the more water there, so these crops which needs the water more, yes, wheat, paddy, rice, sugarcane, jute, cotton, maize, oil seeds, these are the crops which needs the content of water more for growing. So in this type of soil we can grow these primary crops. Second is red soil. It occupies about 19% of total land of India. Red soil, total area of the India, and it occupies 19%. It is spread from Tamil Nadu in peninsular India up to Bundelkhand in the north, and from Rajmahal Hills in the east up to Kutch in the west. Such soil is found in the district of Udaipur, Chittorgarh, Dungarpur, Banaswada and Bhilwara. The soil is red in color due to presence of ferric oxide, and it becomes yellow while going down. What does it mean? Because this soil is mostly found in the mountainous regions, and when this soil is coming down, so many other bioelements are added in it, and we get and the color of the soil changes from red to yellow when it is coming down. Lime, gravel and carbonate are found in this soil. There is a deficiency of lime, magnesium, phosphate, nitrogen and potash in this soil. Crops like millet, cotton, wheat, jowar, linseed, groundnut, potato, etc. are grown in this soil. So here we can grow crops which are having inferior quality, means which does not need much fertility. So these types of crops, millet, cotton, wheat, jowar, linseed, groundnut, potato, which are having these types of things can be grown in this soil. Third is black soil. Black or rigger soil covers about 15% of total area of India. You can see here, students, second one is the black soil in this symbol, and you can see this part which are colored with the peach color. You can see this area contains the black soil. This soil was formed due to spreading of Deccan lava. So you can see here the lava, the igneous rocks which contains the lava, the soil is formed from it, and the color is the black, so it is also said black soil. Such soil is found in entire Maharashtra, western Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh and certain part of Karnataka. In Gujarat, Surat, Bharuch, Narmada, Vadodara, Tapi, Dam district have these types of soils. Lava rock and climate plays an important role in the formation of such soil. There is more proportion of iron, lime, calcium, potash, aluminium and magnesium carbonates in these types of soil. It is considered to be quite fertile. This soil also has the capacity of retaining more moisture. Whenever the moisture dries up, they develop fissures. Fissures means what? Fissures means cracks. These cracks you can see here in the picture. Yes, because this soil is very much moist first, and when it dries up, these cracks are formed, these fissures are formed. and these fissures are very deep. So what happens? The aerations, yes, the aerations and other biotic elements get interact with the soil very easily and makes the soil again very much fertile. Crops like cotton, linseed, mustard, groundnut, tobacco, udder are grown in this soil. As it is more suitable to the cotton, the soil is also known as cotton soil. So locally it supports the cotton vegetation more. So the soil is also known as the cotton soil. Next is laterite soil. The name of the soil is laterite. It is derived from the Latin word later, which means a brick. Its red color is due to iron oxide. When the soil becomes wet, it becomes smooth like butter, and when it is dry, it becomes very hard. It is formed due to change of dry and moist climate and due to prevention of silica-based material. This soil has developed in higher area of peninsular plateau of India. The soil contains more of iron, potash and aluminium. The soil is less fertile, but cotton, paddy, ragi, sugarcane, tea, coffee, cashew, etc. can be grown after using fertilizers. So, after using some natural organic fertilizers or like that way, we can make this soil fertile, and these crops, cotton, paddy, ragi, sugarcane, tea, coffee, cashew can be grown easily. The next is desert soil. This type of soil is seen in the area where the climate is arid or semi-arid. Arid or semi-arid means where the rainfall is less, or semi-arid means very less or no rain. So the soil is sandy and infertile. It contains more dissolved minerals. Rajasthan, Haryana and southern Punjab have this type of soils. In Gujarat, this type of soil is found in Kutch and some parts of our Saurashtra. With the irrigation facility, crops like millet and jowar can be cultivated in this soil. Next is mountain soil. This type of soil is found in the valley and slopy region of Himalayas at an altitude of about 2700 to 3000 meters. You can see here on the top. Yes, this type of soil is mostly found here. Its layer is very thin and is underdeveloped. This soil is found in Assam, Darjeeling, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh and Kashmir. In Himalayas, the soil is found at general altitude in the region of pine and chit trees. Next is forest soil. This type of soil is found within the altitude between 3000 meter to 3100 meters in the coniferous forest of Himalayas and in Saigras, Eastern Ghats and the Tarai region of Himalayas. The surface of the earth is covered by the shaded leaves of the trees, and the upper part of the land becomes black due to increase in the human cost due to the decaying of the leaves. So when these leaves which are shredded from the trees, and when they fall on the earth of the surface, they get decay and they form in the black, they get decay with the soil and it forms the black color. It changes into blue or red color while going down within the land. Besides tea, coffee, spices, other crops like wheat, maize, barley, paddy, etc. are also taken. The soil is found in the limited area. Next is the marshy or petty soil. This type of soil develops in humid region due to accumulation of biotic elements. Again, during rainy season, this land is submerged under water, and when the water recedes, paddy can be grown in it. There is an excess of biotic elements and minerals in such soil, but it shows insufficiency in phosphate and potash. Such soil is found in Odisha, West Bengal, coastal Tamil Nadu, central area of northern Bihar and Almora district of Uttarakhand. The soil is very limited extent. Soil erosion. Let's study in detail about it. Erosion means the transportation of land particle from one place to another with the help of moving air and water. Soil erosion means what? The soil's particles, yes, the particles of the soils are moving from one place to another place, and the reason may be natural also or other also. In other words, the faster transportation of particle of the surface land to other place by natural forces. Which are the natural forces here? That can be wind also, it can be other cyclones also, it can be other things also. It can be heavy rainfall also. It takes many years to form the upper layer. If the soil particles are carried away because of heavy rain or by stormy winds, the agricultural production decreases. Students, you might have seen that where the agricultural land is there, the land is, boundary of the land is covered with either the tall trees or by some fencing or like that way. Why these things are done? So that if the soil particles are moving, then they will remain in the same lane, they will not go out, and the fertility of the soil will remain same. So the stormy winds, the strong winds does not carry the particles, or the heavy rains does not carry the particles. So to keep the soil fertile and to keep the agriculture production more, soil particles should be remain in the land only. So you must have seen in the boundaries, either the tall trees will be grown or the high fencing will be done there, right? It is extremely necessary to maintain this upper layer of agriculture, so the soil erosion should be prevented. What are the measures to prevent soil erosion? Measures means here we will say the remedies also, steps also which can be taken to prevent the soil erosion. It is very much necessary to prevent soil erosion, otherwise the agriculture production will get decreased, and the land on the soil will become unfertile after certain period of time. Very first, control the grazing activity on the land. Grazing activity means the animals which are grazing on the land, that activity should be kept in the control, means in limited part. Plantation should be carried out in contour method in slopy region. You can see here this part, this farming is called the contour method. Yes, if the water is getting down here, you can see here that in between this part, yes, there is a gap. So water will again remain here, again slowly it will go down. So it will not take the soil together within a period. So the soil which is coming from upper till lower part will not get drained and the fertility will remain same. Plant trees in the fallow land. Fallow land means what? Fallow land means the land which is not used. It is tilled by the farmers, yes, but it is not used for the plantation or any farming. Because it is kept for some few years, it will be kept without any vegetation, so that the fertility of the soil come back. So this type of fallow land, some plants or trees has to be grown. So whenever if there is a heavy rainfall, or if the windy, strong windy winds are blown, then the soil particle does not get away. Construct check dams where there are streams. Cultivate deeply in the field to reduce the speed of the water. Next is soil conservation. Yes, soil conservation is also very important, because friends, we we require food to eat, yes, and human beings needs it very much to survive. So we get agriculture, we get vegetation, plantation through the soil only. So to protect it, so to conserve it, it is our duty. So we should know how to conserve the soil. Soil conservation means to prevent the soil erosion and to maintain its quality. Soil conservation is directly connected to retain the soil particles at their original place. Different remedies are used at different places in the world according to its location and problems. You can see here in the first picture, you can see if the surface, yes, compare this first picture and this second picture. In the first picture, the surface is run of the water, yes, surface run of the water. Why? Because there are no slopes here. But in the second, you can see the water harvesting in the terraced slopes. Most of the water is stored here. If these types of things are done, yes, terrace slopes are made in the slopy region, then the water will get harvested and the water will get stored there. Even in the second picture, water having faster flow percolates less in the soil. In this slopy type, if the water flows, it flows very fast. But if this type of things are done, you can see here in the second picture, yes, what happens? Then the water will flow slowly and the terrace percolates slowly on the water level. So it will go down. The underground level of the water will increase if this type of things are done. So at the different location and as per the requirement, these problems are solved by the peoples. Surface run of water flows fast over the slopes. So most of the water stored due to water harvesting in the terraced slope. Water having faster flow percolates less in soil also. So water accumulation on the terrace percolates slowly and raises the groundwater level. If the soil is not conserved, then there are chances of floods which enhance the risk against lives and property. Yes, so trees, plants, vegetation, what they do, their roots which are deep in the soil, they will act like an anchor and they will have a very grip on the soil, and if there is heavy rainfall also, there will be no soil erosion and the water will go under the soil. And if the soil is not conserved, what can happen? Chances of floods are there and the lives and property of the people are at the risk. And especially in the villages and there, this type of situation arises. This soil conservation is very much necessary. Next topic, remedies of soil conservation. Remedies, solutions. The roots of forest covered hold up the soil particles. Plant trees in the rivers, gorges and on mountain slopes. A series of trees should be grown near a desert region to prevent the winds. With more velocity, it will stop the advancing desert. So, in the desert part, the trees should be grown, yes, so it will stop the further land or further soil to convert into desert. The river floods should be controlled by diverting their flows into the river or in the dry river beds. The unrestricted pasturing loosens the soil layers on the mountain. It should be prevented. Methods like horizontal cultivation, terrace farm, etc. should be implemented. Humus content should be added to the soil which has lost its fertility. By implementing these remedies, soil can be conserved. The conservation of soil is strong necessity today. Government, society and the people should work together for its conservation. So it's become our moral duty. Okay students, so the chapter here gets over, and we have to learn about it in very detail, go through the points, and again the worksheets and the homework will be, let's study through e-learning, and let us be update every day. Stay at home, stay safe. Thank you.